Welcome to today's webinar, Monitoring Plan Development. My name is Marla Helly. I will be your trainer today. I'd like to start off by welcoming you to our webinar today. And our objectives for today's training are to identify the contents of a monitoring plan, including the affiliated monitoring procedural documents that are used. Also, we're going to look at how we develop a monitoring plan to meet the unique needs of both our project and our protocol. So identifying what's unique about our trial and what it is that we need to ensure that we focus on when we do our monitoring. Also, what are the triggers that would require a revision to our monitoring plan? And also the importance of good version control for that document. Also, we're going to explain the FDA's recommendations for using risk-based monitoring plans. We're also going to describe the relationship of the monitoring plan to the CRA for monitoring and managing the performance and meeting goals that we have for our project, and also continuous project improvement throughout the course of the trial. You received 4 handouts for today's module or course, and I will refer to the attached documents that you see here on the slide. So you received these first 2 handouts that are showing the image here, handout 4 and 2. They're actually identical. Handout number 2 was developed by ICH in November of 2016. It's the ICH E6R2 addendum. And then I'd like to point out that the FDA announced in March of last year that they also agree with this document, and so they have a FDA guidance document that they have published and have indicated that this is also their official document. So if you read either one of the documents, you're going to see the same information. So let's talk about why we monitor clinical trials. Let's take a moment to chat, sharing your thoughts on why clinical trials are monitored. You may also want to think about what should be the focus when we monitor. So take a moment and share your thoughts. Okay, you said patient safety. Very good. I agree. Patient safety is critical. That's why we go out to monitor. We want to ensure that the patients that are enrolled in our clinical trial are eligible. We also are looking to ensure that the procedures are being followed in our trial, which also correlates to patient safety. So if procedures are not being followed, this is where the subject's safety can be compromised. For example, if the clinical trial requires that patients have laboratory tests to assess to determine if there are toxicities due to the investigational drug, or assessment to see how the patient is responding, and these are not being collected, you can see how patient safety is compromised. We also want to ensure that our clinical investigator and his or her team are also adhering to good clinical practice, following FDA regulations, and also good clinical practice, also ensuring that they're adhering to the protocol as well, and that the data that's being collected is reflective, that is accurate as well. So we can see here what ICH GCP states, the importance or purpose of monitoring. So again, the protection and well-being of human subjects, ensuring that our reported trial data are accurate, complete, and verifiable from source documents, and also that the trial is in compliance with current approved protocol, any protocol amendments, with good clinical practice, and other applicable regulatory requirements. We can also look at what the definition of both monitoring and the monitoring plan are. So ICH provides the two definitions that I have here on the slide. So monitoring is the act of overseeing the progress of the clinical trial and ensuring that it's conducted, recorded, and reported in accordance with the protocol, our standard operating procedures or SOPs, good clinical practice, and the applicable regulatory requirements. And then our monitoring plan is going to be the document that is going to describe the strategy that we're going to use when we go out to monitor. What methods are we going to use? What are the responsibilities of when we go out to monitor? And also ensuring that those are being done. So we're responsible, for example, to check for informed consent, IP accountability, responsible to make sure that essential documents are on file, and then also the requirements for monitoring the trial.